All right, film students, we're getting you ready to get the most out of Pan's Labyrinth, giving you context on the film, some technical aspects, also some connections to class concepts, so that when you watch the film, you're not just engrossed in the plot, but you're also appreciating some technical and thematic aspects of the film. I still think you'll enjoy it. All right, let's take a peek. All right, this film is available through Swank Films database in the EVC library. It is in Spanish with English subtitles. And content alert, it is rated R for some scenes of intense violence. It does have a few bursts of violence that I find unpleasant to watch. It's just a movie, so nobody's really getting hurt. But I recommend if you see something you don't like, just kind of go like that for honestly like 5 seconds or so. It doesn't last long. It's not like those Saw movies or something like that. The director is trying to make commentary about authoritarianism and violence, and that is part of the deal. They're disturbing, but they're not extended scenes. And the film itself does not glorify violence, but uses violence to depict corrupt authoritarianism. And it is a beautiful, well-crafted film, but do consider your own comfort level regarding violence. I don't want to watch certain things. I go to Common Sense Media to check things out. I encourage you to do so as well. It recommends 15 plus for this film. Okay, some things to notice in the film. The interplay between the two worlds of the film, and those two worlds being the fantasy world and the real world. And there will be foreground wipes. What would that be an example of that? Let's say this pig crosses the screen. That would be a foreground wipe, and maybe after the pig crosses, we're in a different location. That's called a foreground wipe. And that edits us oftentimes between the fantasy and the real world of the film, kind of making them feel like they live in the same space. There are thematic connections in the film, themes of authoritarianism, a demand for obedience. We know about that in our world, whether it's our parents or leaders, maybe your boss or government people. Sometimes you gotta obey and sometimes you gotta fight back, I tell you. Questioning authority. When do you do that, right? There's a risk. And that authoritarianism is in both worlds, the fantasy world and the real world. So even though they're separate worlds, there's a lot of interplay between them. Some storytelling tools to look for. The rule of threes, right? Ophelia has 3 tasks to complete, 3 days. I think it's 3 days until the full or the new moon, one of those classic fairy tale things. And also time pressures. You've seen these in other films. Before the moon phases, the sand in the hourglass. Time pressures really make the audience excited about what's going to happen. Blind Spotting, another film, also used those to create tension. And it also has a challenging or unsatisfying ending, like some other films we've discussed or seen. And that's all I got for you for Pan's Labyrinth. Enjoy the other context videos and enjoy the film. What's that guy? Enjoy the Pale Man.